Welcome to the next episode of the eCom Growth Show. I'm your host, Danan Coleman, founder of eCom Triage, co-founder of Catalog Defender, and founder of ecom.events. So this is going to be a very interesting podcast because I've got Adrian Nikolov, who is from, is it Haide Digital? Have I pronounced that correctly?
Haide.
Haide, okay. I knew I was saying it wrong. All right,
It
Haide.
actually means let's go in Bulgarian.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So I'll call it Let's Go Digital, but Haide Digital. So it's
Haide.
HAIDE.digital. What we're talking about today is a crazy subject, something that I didn't even know was on the horizon because I guess I've been living under a rock. But basically, we're talking about Google building a massive e-com structure. And Adrian's going to give us a lot more information about that as to exactly what they're building and what to expect and how to prepare. But before we get started with that, Adrian, can you please give us a little bit about your background? Where do you come from? What's your experience and what led you to where you are today?
Thank you very much, Darren. Happy to be here. What led me to be here today is around 17, a bit more actually, years in organic search. Most of it was inside product companies. But what I'm going to talk about tonight isn't just theory. It's what's already breaking for brands that depend on organic traffic. And it's about to break a lot harder for anyone who is Amazon only.
Okay. That's a strong statement. And so what led you to creating Haide.digital? Like, what's the solution here?
Well, I've built Haide, first of all, because of my experience, and secondly, because I saw this gap in the not only in the market but in people's knowledge about what's going to happen. So I built Haide with the idea for the future.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, the little that we've discussed so far, I could, if you had told me as we were walking by each other in an elevator and you said, yeah, Google's going to do something that's going to disrupt the e-commerce market, I'm like, yeah, of course they've got all the data. That makes perfect sense. But you know what's being built and what's coming out and how to prepare for it. So I've got a number of questions I want to ask you, and I know you can go crazy deep on this stuff. So let's try to keep it high level enough and simple enough explanations so that I can understand it.
I'll try. I'll do my best, promise.
Do your best. Yes. All right. So here's question number one. How does AI find and recommend your products, and how is it different than the standard Google search results?
So, remember how it used to be when you type in a keyword, you go to google.com, you type in best running shoes for flat feet, let's say, and you get 10 blue links that were ranked by different factors like backlinks, keywords, and domain authority. And you just pick a page, you click, you compare products within, write down the prices even, and you go on Google, do another search, and you compare products like that. Right now, what happens is that you just go on either on ChatGPT or on Google's AI mode even, or Perplexity, or whatever you're paying for nowadays. I'm paying for all of them, sadly enough, but yeah. And when you ask the large language model the same question, something structurally different happens. Actually, the AI model goes out and reads hundreds of sources at once. It retrieves them, grabs the product pages, scrapes Reddit threads, social media, review sites, everything to compile the trustworthiness of this product. And it practically evaluates who's most trustworthy and returns only 2 or 3 recommendations.
Yeah.
Not a list of 10, nothing. Yeah, it's just the 3 or 4, the best in the game that you should get, the short list.
Yeah.
And the game right now isn't who ranks on page 1. It's not that anymore, but it's who gets cited inside the LLM sensor. It's completely different rule.
Okay. And so if I wanted to rank on page 1 of Google for, let's just continue down the shoe example. I want to rank on page 1 for Google for shoes. I obviously have to have my own site with my own content. Ideally, I've got social medias, all the social medias connected to the website. I've got YouTube. YouTube is connected to the website and the brand, and everything is in Google Analytics. My ads are in Google Analytics, and it's all connected. So I've got that little like internal spider web of connections. Then we've got other people like documentation, articles, listicles, blog posts, videos, etc., where people are talking about my product and whatever they're saying, and it's connected to me, and I've got backlinks to the website, etc. Then I've got TikTok and all these other influencer platforms, and like, oh my gosh, these are the best shoes in the whole world. And and that connects to, let's say, wherever it connects to, but it's connected to the company. So I needed all of that. In the space, it's called SEO juice, right? We need that juice in order to tell Google and the bots that, hey, we are the authority on the subject of this shoe, right? Therefore, we're the most relevant search results for when somebody is looking for these things. And you can
Exactly.
seed all the videos and the content and stuff like that with the keywords you want to rank for. So you're saying that AI takes all of this into consideration in an instant and gives you the top few results, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
good. So let me ask you this. It sounds to me like it's still relevant to get all that content out there. Yes?
Of course it is.
Okay.
And actually, what you described is a very decent setup, I may say.
Thank you. I have a little bit of history in the SEO space,
I can tell.
many, many years ago. So I've got a pretty basic understanding of it. I used to do local search marketing where I could get any local business in the first top 3 results for their primary keywords on Google, because whereas a business would go, "Oh yeah, give us a Google rating," I went out and I would connect everything, all social media, the websites, connect the websites to social media and WordPress, and I would go to every single listing website that was out there, like Yelp, Bing, Yahoo, everything. And I had about 50 different sites that I would go to and update the company details so that they matched perfectly across everything, and I'd get search results, top of search results within a month.
Yeah, even less. What you just described nowadays is, first of all, it's highly relevant, and what you're describing here is called topical authority.
Mhm.
Literally, for a brand to become, it needs to become the authority on one topic, the subject matter expert, and
Yep.
everything around that is content. So, to begin with, topical authority starts within your website, but it spreads out in all of the channels you mentioned. Social media,
Yep.
Reddit is huge,
Yep.
YouTube is
Oh yeah,
number
Reddit.
one. Yeah, Reddit is huge, and you will find me talking about Reddit a lot. But yeah, everything linking back to you, the citations that are there, and people used to call SEO. It used to be search engine optimization, right? Nowadays, it's search everywhere optimization
Right. Okay.
because this, yeah, kudos to Rand Fishkin for coming up with that. I
Uh-huh.
believe it was him. But nowadays, you literally need to be present everywhere. And I mean it everywhere, especially YouTube. YouTube
Yep.
is huge right now
Yep. Yep.
because all of the LLMs are retrieving the content from there and placing it directly where your buyers are looking.
Mhm.
So what you were doing back then, uh, imagine it like the renaissance of SEO, because currently all of the shady tactics are working once again. Not for long, I hope. I know.
You mean
Okay, I know.
like buying 100,000 backlinks?
Yes, but without the links. Funny story. Currently, there is this trend that you just purchase mentions within some PBN network, private block network. Just the word of your brand surrounded by in a proper context, in a relevant field. This gets put. You don't even need a link.
Makes sense, I guess. Okay, because the AI is able to make the association.
Yeah, exactly. It's RAG, retrieval augmented generation,
Say it
and
again. It's what? Retrieval?
augmented generation.
Oh, that's what RAG is.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is. And
Mhm.
Google My Business GMB, Google Loco was what you described. It's huge. Once again, like this is the renaissance for local SEO as well, because it gets direct citations within knowledge graphs. It's highly relevant to what we call entity SEO. That's a bit more technical, but it's pretty much what you mentioned. To like we already said, becoming the subject matter expert on one topic, but your brand is the entity that is there, and everything out there within this topical authority is the entities and the cousin similarity between the entities that are positioned there. I, I don't want to get way too technical.
Yeah, we don't want to
Have,
put anyone to sleep here.
yeah,
We
yeah.
get it. You're a subject matter expert on this stuff.
uh, Otherwise, I'm jobless.
That's right. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, let's take it back just a little notch here. Basically, here's what I'd like to know. How do you prevent being invisible to AI search? This question part. Why don't we start there? How can I as a brand owner prevent being invisible to AI search?
That's actually, this is a very complicated question. So first we need to know if we were ever visible. This is simply by going on to LLM and just searching for your brand. In a way, a buyer of yours would search. If you don't find yourself anywhere, and especially if you have been set up like you described,
Yep.
there's a problem.
Yep.
And I've seen very like the tiniest details that are flipping the cards nowadays. So uh, if we structure it in 3 layers, layer 1 would be blocked,
Hmm.
that you are blocking the LLMs from crawling your website. This could be done. What's what was trending 2 months ago was Cloudflare actually set a default block to LLMs, so you had to go in Cloudflare and just
Cloudflare. Yeah.
click a notch so you aren't blocking ChatGPT bot. And this is the first layer of invisibility. Layer 2 would be if
Actually, before we go into number 2, Adrian, so just for those of you that are listening, you've likely all heard of GoDaddy or Wix or whatever. Cloudflare is one of the best options for purchasing domains because they don't upcharge like GoDaddy does and like Wix does, but they also do hosting and stuff like that. So it's a domain registrar and a host. So basically what he said there is that Cloudflare added this feature that automatically blocked AIs from crawling your site, and I'm sure it had. I'm sure it was done in with the best intentions to protect your personal data from being trained on to these AIs, but with the with the accidental result that if you want that data out there and you want these LLMs to access it, they weren't. So okay, go ahead, Adrian. Number 2, please.
Number 2 is if you build a beautiful website, but you are using client-side rendering. What I mean by that is that you're using very heavy JavaScript, dynamic images, animations, all of the pretty stuff, the eye candy. It's usually unreadable first by
Ah,
search engines and then by large language models.
just like the Flash sites of the early 2000s.
Exactly like the Flash sites. Yeah, first were the Flash sites, then JavaScript came. A month after building my first JavaScript website, I realized that it's not being seen at all, it's not being rendered. So you need to check your server-side rendering. Like
Okay.
ask ChatGPT about it,
Yeah.
or me. And layer 3 would be if you're interested. Even when LLMs can read your website and retrieve it, they may not cite you because no one else talks about you. There's nothing on Reddit. You have no independent reviews, no third-party presence, and pretty much your topical authority is non-existent. There's a lot more to that layer, and it's much more complex, the whole subject. But I would go for these three as the core and the most that I've seen in the past 2 years, actually.
Okay. So let's just simplify this list, and I'll need your help remembering. So basically, you want to make sure that you are not inadvertently blocking LLMs from scraping your website or accessing your
Yes,
data. You want to make sure that your domain registrars don't have some hidden setting that also prevent those LLMs. And then you need to make sure, basically what we said in the very beginning, you need to be omnipresent. You need your brand cited, which means to be mentioned. It's like mentions in x.com, right? So cited.
yeah,
On websites, you get citations. These are people that say, yeah, this brand, and then whatever context around that. So basically, you still need to be doing content on web domains with authority. You still need to be having a bunch of social media stuff and citations pointing to your website or just to your brand name. You still need to do as much YouTube content as possible, especially since you take the transcript. You could have enormous amounts of valuable data to the LLMs if they can read the transcript of your YouTube videos talking about your brand's features and benefits and pros and
exactly.
cons, pricing, all that stuff. And what was the third thing? I feel like I'm missing something.
Unreadable. Your website
Oh,
needs to be
yeah,
server-side
that's right.
rendered. If you're
Yes.
using heavy animations, heavy JavaScript, stuff like that, make sure to check. Just go on your website right now and press Command and U on Mac or Control plus the U button to view the page source and look in the code. Be a hacker and read the code. Just try to find your content there. You can Control F for search and type something that is written on your page. If it's not there, it's not being rendered server side.
Okay. And for those that are Mac users, it's command, at least in Chrome, command option U.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you
I've
know,
changed. I've changed my hotkeys on the Mac. So
oh,
long
yeah.
time
So,
Windows user, and now I'm transitioning.
yeah, makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm just gonna, for those of you that are listening only to this podcast, you're not gonna see this, but just for a hot second here, I'm just gonna share my screen and show you what it looks like when you do what he just said. So this is on a Mac, it's Command Option U. What this is the view source, right? So you can see up here, or maybe you can't see up here. It's view source ecomgrowth.show. That's the website, the blog post for this. And so what he's saying is that if you've got a whole bunch of JavaScript, which is a language, or Flash, which is a dead language, nobody uses it anymore, you don't end up with all of this code, right? And so there is nothing for the LLMs to read because I don't think that we are at the point where the LLMs are screenshotting your website and then decoding what it sees there, right? We're just not there yet.
We are not there yet. There are some LLMs that have OCR. There are specific tools, but it would be ridiculously expensive to retrieve this that we are discussing right now. To mass OCR the whole web. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And slow. Speed is also something, yeah.
Definitely. Okay. And just to define everyone, for everyone, OCR, it's optical character reading. It was a technology that was developed actually really not that long ago, at least not in,
Actually, not, yeah.
yeah. In AI years, eons ago, but OCR is basically it's taking pictures of text or and just and transcribing that into actual text that can be read by stuff. So like when you do a document scan on your on your scanner, which I know none of you own anymore, there is on these scanners there is an option for OCR, and what it does is it scans the document and gives you a text document of it, and it's not always right. So anyhow, that's what OCR is. So okay, next question. This is the crazy one for me. I had no idea that Google was this far along on this. So you mentioned that Google's building an entire shopping layer inside of its AI, right? We know if we do a Google search now, we get a quick AI results, or we can do AI search, right? But with what Google is building, what does it mean? How's that going to impact e-commerce and shopper behavior? Tell us about it, and I'll just list off a few things: shopping graph, checkout inside of AI overviews, AI mode. What the hell is going on?
What is going on is something that that us SEOs have expected for quite a long time. Google doesn't want to send you traffic anymore. Google wants to be the store. They always had a thing for monopolies, and now they want to sell our products and charge us money.
Yeah,
And currently, the Google Shopping Graph has over 50 billion product listings, like 50 billion product listings.
that's billion with a B, folks.
Yeah, yeah. You name it. Amazon, Alibaba,
Yep. Shopify
Temu,
stores,
all of
WooCommerce,
them.
BigCommerce.
Literally all of them are
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And at least 2 or 3 billion of those refresh every hour, meaning the listings there are almost fresh every time. And what is interesting is framed by the term agentic shopping. And this is something that us SEOs are really investigating right now because it's quite new.
Yep.
But the main
Hence,
idea,
somewhat broken.
yeah, yeah, yeah. What is going to happen is that checkout is going to be moving within AI overviews and AI mode, and practically you would be able to do your shopping for products through agents. You literally set up your agent, you give it all your credentials, bank details, so on and so on, and address. You tell it, hey, I'm looking for these running shoes, whatever model you liked. I'm number 13. I want them pink with whatever do you describe. And your agent, who, by the way, never sleeps, constantly goes through these 50 billion listings and looks for what you want. And when it finds it, it pings you either on your email or there are
I'm sure we're gonna have push notifications to your phone
for
any day
sure,
now.
yes, yes. But you can even set it to directly buy it on the price you've set it. Like you tell it you have a $50 budget, just buy it and have it delivered on this address, and that's what happens. So what's happening here? There are several things. First, there's a lot of discussion on the topic, and you can tell why. But I am not sure that the world is ready for this yet. I mean, for sure we are going to get there, but I don't believe people and most of all store owners um, need to worry about this yet. What you need to worry about is just being visible to AI, doing all of the things that we've mentioned. This thing is not going away anytime soon. This is the model that it actually feels very organic. And all good brands need to develop their brand name, their reputation online if they're good businessmen or women. Like this is the most natural thing that you can do with your business. Have a YouTube channel, Give it to the people. Explain your products. But be everywhere. Have Facebook, X, Discord, whatever, wherever your buyers
Oh,
are. Be
wait,
there.
are Discord channels crawlable?
No, not yet, and thank God, because this is about to get weird.
Uh,
Yeah,
okay. So, but Reddit, you mentioned Reddit, and
yeah. Reddit is huge. Reddit is currently, after the partnership with Google, Reddit is now the third, or was it the second? No, it's the third biggest website on the planet to begin with. And it is the second most cited website in the world in Google, like in Google's AI overviews, I mean. So number one is YouTube. And by the way, this is the second largest search engine in the world.
Yep.
And there is Reddit, also Quora, pretty much user-generated content and forums. They
Yeah,
are the thing right now.
it's interesting. I've been thinking too focused. So I'm just speaking in my own stuff. So I have this podcast, which obviously is a YouTube podcast. I have an adventure channel, which I've got my motorcycle and off-road and camping and travel adventures on there called Adventure with Danan. So that's a channel plus a blog post plus a Facebook group plus Instagram, right? And then I've got another podcast in the off-road space that's on another YouTube channel that belongs to a friend of mine that has a community attached to it called Waypoint Unknown, where I interview manufacturers of products in the off-road space and overlanding space. Oh, and then I've got my obviously there's a website attached to that, and we sell products. And then I've got my eCom triage where I do negative review removal for people. And I've got Catalog Defender, which monitors products for critical issues on Amazon. I've got ecom.events, which is a list of all of the e-commerce events. And none of these are attached to each other or directly attached to me, and that sounds like a massive mistake.
No, on the
No?
contrary,
Really?
they are, yes, you're doing the right thing because you are the main entity and you're the face of all of these brands, correct?
Correct.
So what would Google say when you Google Danan Coleman? Is it the off-road or what does Google say?
I don't know.
If
That's
you link everything together,
yeah.
first of all, Google is going to get crazy trying to figure out who Danan Coleman is really and what should Google serve to the people. And there are too many distinct entities out there.
Mm-hmm.
So what you should be doing is just to position your person entity, like your personal brand, as Danan Coleman, the entrepreneur, and yes, something like that. You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Everything else is a separate entity that needs to chase its own category. Because if you connect them together, they're completely irrelevant things. You can't put, perhaps you can. There are close zones, but what I'm trying to say, you don't want to link together irrelevant items.
Okay.
You
Makes
don't
sense.
want, yeah. So you're doing the right thing. Just build them separately, as you're
Okay.
doing already, and
Okay.
be at the top of that as the one uniting uniting figure to with a lot of interest and businesses up.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I just opened up an incognito window and wrote who is Danan Coleman, and it's so far it's pretty good. I am an e-commerce focused individual first, but then it has what's my adventure stuff. And interestingly, IMDb, um, which I was hardly a star in an indie film, and I didn't know that the director created an IMDb account for me. So I am I am Danan Coleman is known for The Last Dimension Lord in 2017, which is
I
sweet.
am IMDb is very powerful. Like
Yeah,
I'm seeing it right now. Some of my clients I work with some clients that are very related to IMDb, and that's a complete channel, completely different channel for optimization out there.
nice.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm doing it right. I'm keeping them separate.
Yes,
Cool.
exactly.
Okay. Good deal. Well, I've got one last question for you. What should e-commerce brands be doing today to start prepping for what's coming?
Oh man, there's a lot.
Yeah, I
All right, I'm gonna go with the three things approach.
okay.
And yeah, first and the quickest one actually, you open up your
Preferred
you open
LLM.
yeah, you open up your preferred LLM and you start searching as a user. There are 5 questions that you need to ask it. So there is this thing about LLMs, especially in ChatGPT, that you can enable the web search. So there are two types of memory. There's the parametric brain, which dates to the year 2025, or I think it was April, but it was the pre-training of the model. It's everything that the model has been trained about, and it directly provides the answer. And the other one is when the model performs a web search. That's the dynamic part of the search. If you are a new brand, you can't end up in the LLM's memory. You have to fight hard for it, but this takes time. What you can do is just position yourself in the okay. I'm getting over that excited on this. So just go in, type in a question that would prompt the model to go search online and see if you're in the query fan out. Query fan out is actually when you query the large language model. For instance, you type in which are the top models of running shoes this year, and the large language model takes this query and separates it in 5 to 10 separate queries, so it can cover the complete topic. And it retrieves the items from there, all of the information, and then delivers the answer. If you aren't there, then you should start looking for the problems we already mentioned, and like building up your topical authority, so on, so on.
Yeah.
The other thing is audit your product schema. Product schema, structured data. The structured data is um, practically it's JSON code, which provides information, structured data information to all of the search engines and the large language
Adrian,
model.
to simplify this, would you say ask ChatGPT or your preferred LLM to audit your schema? Because
Yes,
I understand what that means, both schema and JSON, but I actually don't know how to do it. I just know conceptually what it is. So if you tell me to do that and be like, cool, bro.
you can. I would still go because especially ChatGPT hallucinates a lot on schema, and they aren't so great at reading and retrieving it. But you can ask it how to check your schema and what type of schema should you have on, and you give it a page in order to perform good on Google and on everywhere. Yeah. So that would be number 2, and number 3 is the rendering of the website, because this is by far the thing that I'm seeing that ruins brands. Yeah,
Interesting.
server-side rendering.
Okay. All right, good. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for being on the podcast. You know, if someone wants to learn more about what you do and what Haide Digital does, which obviously is this stuff, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, LinkedIn is the best place. You can just connect with me, Adrian Nikolov, and all of the checklists, they live on the company website, Haide.digital.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And
Thank you very much.
I look forward to never having my head spin like this again. Just kidding.
Happy to help whenever you need.
Yeah, thank you. All right,
Thank you,
see ya.
Danan.
You
See
bet.
ya.